Hey everybody, welcome back to Sam's Doing Stuff. Well, what am I doing today? I am trying to bang my head against this wall again and figure out a way that I can move firewood efficiently with my Kubota BX. And it's limited lift capacity, okay? Let's just go with 500 pounds. That's what we're shooting for. We know the BX can lift 500 pounds. Now I have one of the lightest sets of pallet forks available right now. These are Redline pallet forks. I absolutely love these pallet forks. And I have actually lifted a 730 pound, that's what we kind of calculated, 730 pound piece of concrete with these pallet forks. So we know the BX should be able to lift 500 pounds. That's what we're gonna shoot for, okay? We're gonna shoot for 500 pounds of firewood at a time. So let's do the math here, okay? A standard cord of wood is gonna be somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 pounds, okay? Let's go with the max, 3,000 pounds if you're moving oak, let's say. So if I gotta move 500 pounds at a time, that's 1/6 of 3,000 pounds. So I should be able to move 1/6 of a cord with the Kubota BX. Now, why do I want to move 1/6 of a cord? Well, most cords are divided up in face cords, ricks, or rows, 1/3 of a cord. So you can sell it at 1/3 of a cord, you can sell it at a full cord, heck, you can sell it as little bundles, but we're talking bulk material here. So we need to be able to work with that division of 1/3 of a cord. Well, 1/6 of a cord, of course, is 1/2 of 1/3 of a cord. So if somebody orders 1/3 of a cord, I can give them 2/6 of a cord. Okay, good. So now the question comes, how am I gonna manage that efficiently? Number one, I need to be able to lift it, and I need to be able to dump it, okay? And you've seen several times where I've used that basket, that IBC tote, and the front is cut out of it, and you can use one of those to dump wood out of. That works fantastically. But those are expensive. Those aren't free. If it's not free, it's expensive. And I can't afford to go buying a whole bunch of IBC totes right now. And besides the fact I can't even fill them, I can put 1/6 of a cord in one and barely fill it. That's ridiculous. It's a waste of space in that IBC tote. Pallets are free. So I'm gonna start with a pallet. So the next thing we need to do is we need to figure out how are we gonna get 1/6 of a cord stacked on a pallet efficiently and neatly, and so that it works to be able to lift it, move it, and dump it. Well, I've done a lot of thinking about this, like I said, and you've got some options. So once again, I'll do the math for you. You've got a 40-inch wide pallet, 40 by 48, okay? If I take and I try and maximize my lift capacity on the BX and move all of that wood 16 inches here, I would have to stack it. If you go 16 inches by 40, I would have to stack it 5 feet high to get 1/6 of a cord. That's gonna be around 22 cubic feet. Now, 1/6 of a cord is about 21.3 cubic feet, okay? So 22 cubic feet would get me there, but if you stack 16 inches, 5 feet high, that is not gonna stay like that. A nice brisk wind is gonna blow that thing over out in the field, and I do not want that. So, we gotta divide that by 2. So we're gonna take it and we're gonna do 2 stacks at 2.5 feet tall. So we'll go 32 inches deep and we'll go 2.5 feet tall. So if we're gonna go half as high, we're gonna be working with 32 inches by 40 inches by 2.5 feet high, okay? So I think we should be able to get 2 of those out of every pallet. All right, so this is a standard pallet. Once again, it should be 40 by 40. It's not 48. That is not a standard pallet. Let's go get a standard pallet. Well, I sure am glad I checked that. That's not even 40 inches wide. Okay, so this one is 48 by 40. Yep, okay. So we got a standard pallet here sitting on top of a non-standard pallet. We'll just use this as a workbench. All right, so first thing we want to do is divide it in half. Okay, now we have our standard 48 by 40 pallet ripped in half. Now we need to find where our 16-inch pieces of firewood are going to land on this thing. So we need to find the center, which is going to be at 12 inches because this is now 24 inches instead of 48. And we're going to go 8 inches either way. So we're going to make a mark at 4 inches. And we're going to make a mark at 20 inches. Next, we're going to need to cut 4 3-foot pieces of 2x4. And now finally, we need 2 pieces cut to 43 inches. Okay, now we have all the material we need to build this. I want this to be simple. I want it to be cheap. Might take a little bit of effort to build a bunch of these things, but once they're built, I'll have them. And if they work, the effort will pay off. So let's put it together. Well, there it is. It's simple. It took me about 20 minutes to put this together. Probably the next time I do it, I could do it in 15 or less. It's cheap. I have this lumber lying around free to me. I think if you had to buy lumber, you're less than $20. And of course, pallets are free. They better be free. Anyway, the next thing to see is if it's effective, if it actually works. Can I stack a 1/6 of a cord on it? Can I lift it with the BX? And can I dump it? So let's fill it with some red oak. Well, I came up a little bit short with what I had split, so I decided to just go ahead and try it. Came up short on that too. Check it out. That's it. That's as high as it'll lift it. And we all know that's not high enough to even get close to getting it high enough to dump it. I don't understand. My math isn't wrong. 32 inches by 40 inches by 2.5 feet high is 22 cubic feet. 22 cubic feet is a 1/6. 128 divided by 6 is 21.33333. I don't get it. I don't understand. Just won't lift it. So, final thoughts? I need a bigger tractor. Yeah, the BX is just not a big enough tractor to manage any amount of firewood that makes any sense. Put it in a trailer, drive it out to the field, stack it by hand, and then when it comes time to deliver it, I can't use the tractor, I just gotta throw it into the trailer by hand. It's frustrating, but hey, at least I went through the trouble and now you don't have to. I know this is red oak, but I wanted to test, you know. Well, it's frustrating, but at least I know now. Hey, if I went through all this, the least you could do is hit that subscribe button and hit the like button, so I appreciate it. Oh, gosh. Oh well, I guess I'll take this out and stack it on the pile. And I will see you next time when I'm doing more stuff.